Well, this is a day that I thought I'd be dead before it happened, to tell you the truth. But I got a commercial building and I rent to an individual, and he was on a committee out in Glencoe back in the early 60s to get 212 to 4 lanes all the way. So he is definitely, and so many people out there are encouraged on the 4 lane. You know, Senator Coleman said that Scott Newman, and I have to give just a little history on that. I drew up the initial bill about 9 or 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that, to complete 212 to 4 lanes, and I took it over to Senator Newman, who was my senator out here, because he was chair of the transportation in the Senate, and I said, Senator Newman, if we get 212 to 4 lanes, we're not going to have to get campaigned to get reelected. All we have to do is put an ad in the paper, say we got 212 to 4 lanes. That's how long they've waited for that out there. You know, I do have to mention one other individual, and it's a Democrat. It's Representative Frank Hornstein. He negotiated with Senator Newman on the 212 funding, and I put a lot of pressure on him going into negotiations. And he came back to the House floor, came up to me and said, Glenn, you're going to have to vote for this transportation bill. I said, oh, is the funding for 212 in there? He said, yes. I said, is there any funding for Southwest Light Rail? He said, no. I said, I'll vote for the bill, okay? I'm not a big light rail person, let me tell you. Anyway, there's a lot of people to be thanked on this, but one other individual that should be mentioned is former Representative Tim Miller. He authored an amendment that I was going to offer also to name 212 as a corridor commerce so that we could get some federal matching funds. And it got put into the bonding bill. I thought there was a 90% chance Governor Dayton might line that out and veto it, but he signed it. So I want to appreciate Governor Dayton for signing, turning this into a corridor commerce so that we could get some federal matching funds. The other thing I just say is that there are 2 individuals down at the Capitol who kept me posted, and Mr. Linden was a great benefit, and I know there's others, and then Margaret was a real blessing, even though we bumped heads on tax increases sometimes. So I'm very thankful and blessed. There is one concern I want to raise for all of us to consider, though. In the last couple of sessions, we passed a Green New Deal requirement on the building of roads and bridges. And according to some of the initial comments, it's going to drive the cost of building roads and bridges up about 30 to 40% higher than what it is right now. I believe it's unnecessary. Now, 212 was grandfathered in, so we didn't have that problem. But future expansions are going to be exponentially higher because of that requirement that was passed down at the legislature. So let's all work to get rid of that so we can get more roads and bridges. Finally, I'm not a Green New Deal person. Remember this, there are thousands of scientists who believe that CO2 is not a pollutant. Okay, I'll say that one more time. CO2 is not a pollutant. We wouldn't have green grass, green trees, and flowers without it. We all give off CO2. And there's thousands of scientists if you research that. So let's quit promoting the Green New, I call it the Green New Deal, but the Green New Deal. It's a boondoggle. And with that, let's, what we say here will be quickly forgotten. What those people do over there will last a lifetime. And for those of you who believe in praying, and I do, let's pray for their safety and protection, because we know that road building can be extremely dangerous. God bless you and thank you. And I'd like to introduce Representative Nash.